The stocks are crashing left and right, week after week. This is Mike with my Real Estate Dojo, and for months I've been warning the signs that the stocks are going to be crashing, the economy is going to be crashing, the real estate bubble is going to burst, all these bubbles are going to burst. But today I want to give you an example of how I advised my girlfriend to take her money out of her 401k, and she didn't listen to me at first. She lost, 1,000 points, which was a couple of grand from her savings nest, that she started listening to me. And this was when the very first crash happened, which was like weeks ago, or maybe almost like a month ago now or something, or a couple of, I don't know exact the date, but it was like anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks ago. I told her before the crash hit, I said, hey, I feel it, it's about to hit. You need to take your money out of the 401k. She said, oh no, it's safe, blah, blah, blah. So then the crash came and she lost 1,000 points, which was a couple of grand for her. And I told her, didn't I tell you so? And she said, okay, I'm going to take my money out. All right. And so the story was that she called her custodians for her money, and she wanted to take her money out. But the funny thing is, the people that own these custodians, I think hers was Fidelity, they try to advise her and persuade her not to take her money out, to still leave it with them. And when she was like determined to say, no, I want my money out, then Fidelity took the second step, which is try to make her seem like she's an idiot, she's a fool, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So at first, they tried to persuade her not to take the money. When she was persistent, too, they tried to make her look like she's an idiot, like a fool. And when she was still persistent, okay, then what they want to do is her take her money and put it in a mutual fund, okay? But what I want to talk about is the part about how they want to take the money and put it in a mutual fund. But before I do that, I want to talk about the step number 2, what they did. They start making comments, because she was on speaker and I could hear it, comments to her that made it look like she's ignorant, like she's a fool, like they were saying, what are you going to do with this money? Where are you going to put this money? Like she had no idea what to do with her money, right? Which is pretty crazy, because it's her money. She already left it with these guys, with these brokerage firm. They already made tons of money off of her. Now she wants her money out. Who the hell are these people to tell her, first, 1, advise her not to, 2, try to make her look like an idiot, like, what are you going to do with this money, and try to make her feel like a fool. And then third, they were trying to persuade her to leave her 401k, take it out, and put her in mutual funds. And guys, a lot of guys, you guys don't know, and back in 2006, fourth quarter, I was trying to take my money out of the banks, and they wouldn't allow me. They wouldn't allow me to take my big chunks of money out, because I knew the crash was coming, dude, on the fourth quarter. And when I went to my banker and I told him I want to take all my money out, he tried to persuade me to put my money into a mutual fund. But I haven't studied the law, so maybe things have changed, but mutual funds are not like banking accounts, or they're not like savings account where they're, insured. Mutual funds are at risk. So your money can go up and your money can go down. So it's really stupid to leave your money in a mutual fund when it's about to crash, in my opinion, okay? I'm not an attorney. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just talking about me and the advice I share with my girlfriend, right? And then the funny thing is, in 2006, I didn't want to put my money in a mutual fund. But after the crash happened, few years later, I was watching YouTube, and I saw multiple people making YouTube channels talking about how they tried to take their money out of the bank, and the bank persuaded them to put it into a mutual fund. And then these people on YouTube were talking about how they had the money in mutual fund, hundreds and thousands of dollars. And then when the crash happened, they got a letter from the bank saying that they can't take their money out, that their money's been freezed, okay? So they could only use, first you can take any of their money out, and then it was 10%, and then it's 20%, and then the guy was saying that 7 years later, he still can't take all his money out, that the banks have basically freeze his account, and he only has access to 90% of his money now. And it's like 7 years later after the crash has happened. So I thought about what the custodians were telling my girlfriend, that, you know, first, that persuading her not to take the money out. 2, they were trying to make it like she's an idiot for wanting to take her money out. In reality, she's smart. She knows that there's a bubble happening. And then 3, when they saw that option 1 and 2 didn't work, then they try to persuade her to put her in mutual funds. And I told her, hell no, dude, because if the market crashes, the banks are probably going to bail in or do what they did in the last crash. Like I saw people on YouTube talking about how there was a freeze on their account where they couldn't pull their money out. It was in a mutual fund. And 7 years later, they only have access to 90% of their money versus the whole 100. Which is pretty crazy, guys. Right? Considering that this is your money, and then these people that are supposed to be your custodians, like, you know, your guardians in a sense, they're persuading you to leave your money into the market. They're persuading you not to take the money out because you're an idiot. And then finally, if nothing works, then they're persuading you to take the money from the market and put it into a mutual fund, which is, you could lose your money, which the banks can freeze it, like they've done many people in the last crash. So I wanted to make this video with you guys and share it with you, because I thought it's pretty crazy how the stinky bankers and their affiliates are trying to persuade just average working class people and making them seem like they're fools and idiots because they know that the crash is coming and they want to take their money out. The real fools are the stupid bankers that are out there taking all this risky investments, derivatives to, you know, mortgage securities to prime lending. Is already happening, and they want us to be stuck with the hot potato when the music ends, guys. And if you, like my girlfriend, try to call them and get your money, they wouldn't do it, man. You know, they give her a very hard time. And then, but finally they give her money out. So I'm not going to say they didn't do it, but she was talking to her for like an hour trying to get her money out, which is pretty crazy in my mind, guys. So now you know where we stand, where the dojo stands. I don't believe in bankers. I know that the economy is crashing down very soon. The stocks, it's in a bubble. Interest rates are all-time low. We have a bond bubble. Many nations around the world, Germany, France, you name it, guys, they're all on the verge of bankruptcy. They're in debt like crazy to the central bankers. The U.S. government is in debt to the central bankers. The U.S. people, almost 80% of people are in debt, guys. They have massive amount of debts of the population. So the next crash is going to be more severe than, you know, the 2006 crash or the dot-com bubble crash. I think it's going to be a global crash, and it's going to be exciting times because there's going to be massive wealth change. So the wealth is going to be changing. So you could be the people that lose your money, or you can be the people that actually get wealthy in this new crash coming, guys. I'm excited. I'm sorry that some people are going to lose their money, but for me, I'm excited. I'm going to be excited when there's blood in the streets, because I'm going to be able to buy real estate at a deep discount, or I'm going to be able to get some creative financing like owner financing, wraps, master leases, options, rent to own, and those type of things, guys. I'm going to be loving it because the newspapers are going to be saying, oh my God, everything's crashing. The TV is going to say, oh my God, the house market is not worth anything. The Uber driver is going to say that. Facebook people are going to say that. And it's going to be a great time for people that have been watching my channel and they've been learning some of these strategies. And for you guys that don't know how to use some of these strategies, I highly recommend getting on my website, myrealestatedojo.com, and downloading my mother course, which is 171 chapters as video training. And it talks about all the different strategies that you could implement, like options, rent to own, master leases, etc. All the different types of strategies you can use to buy property without getting into debt, without getting a loan, and really taking advantages of the crash coming up. If you haven't got the mother course, I highly recommend to get it. And we actually have a burning sale on it right now, fire sale at My Real Estate Dojo, guys. If you find value in these videos, please push like, Leave a comment. Do you think the crash is coming, or do you think the crash is not coming? And what is your plans in the crash, guys? And share if you have any friends or family that want to be entrepreneurs, or if you have any friends and family that are heavily invested in real estate or in stocks. Let them know that the crash is coming, guys. Hustle and bustle. Don't take no for an answer. Love you guys. See ya.